Good morning and a very warm welcome to you. I'm Rachel reporting for 𝐊𝐚𝐥𝐤𝐢𝐧𝐞 TV live from Sydney, and you're watching the Global Markets Roundup. Let us dive into some key highlights and happenings from yesterday, starting with the US benchmark. S&P 500 and the NASDAQ composite closed at record highs for the second consecutive day yesterday after significant gains in consumer discretionary and the energy segments. The S&P 500 was up 0.15%, the Dow Jones rose 0.09%, the NASDAQ gained 0.52%, and the small cap Russell 2000 was up 1.02%. Investors were optimistic of a speedy recovery from the pandemic. That's a day after the US Food and Drug Administration cleared another Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine for children 16 years and above. Meanwhile, the robust quarterly earnings of the corporate heavyweights continue to lift the spirits on the market. On Tuesday, the Commerce Department reported that sales of new single-family homes rose by 1% to 708,000 units in July. That was after a decline for 3 consecutive months. However, the rising home prices and supply issues weighed on the market, keeping many potential first-time buyers on the fringe. The data showed average new home prices surged 18.4% year-on-year to $390,500 in the month. Energy and consumer discretionary stocks led the gains in Tuesday's session. 6 of 11 S&P 500 segments stayed in the green. However, real estate and consumer staples were the bottom movers. Stocks of retailer Best Buy rose 9.5%. That's after the company reported strong second quarter earnings above analysts' expectations. Its net sales surged to $11.84 billion from $9.91 billion in the year-ago quarter. In addition, its net income came in at $734 million or $2.90 per share. The agriculture-focused company 𝐷𝐿𝐴, their revenue rose 89% year-on-year to renminbi 23 billion. Renminbi is the official currency of the People's Republic of China. The stock surged 21.61% after the results on Tuesday. Stocks of cybersecurity company Palo Alto Networks rose 18.57% in intraday trading, a day after posting better than expected quarterly results. Its revenue rose by 28% year-on-year to $1.2 billion in the fourth quarter of 2021. Another cybersecurity technology company, CrowdStrike, shares jumped 8.44%. That's after the NASDAQ said it would add CrowdStrike to its NASDAQ 100 index on Thursday. In the consumer sector, Oatly Group AB, their shares rose 8.52%. Coursera shares increased by 5.09%. And American telehealth company Hims & Hers Health shares gained 4.68%. The Cisco Corporation stock rose 1.1%, while PepsiCo shares declined 1.24%. In energy stocks, ExxonMobil shares surged 1.17%, Chevron gained 1.38%, and Royal Dutch Shell rose 1.02%. BP and ConocoPhillips advanced 1.15% and 1.2% respectively. In the real estate sector, American Tower stock decreased by 1.24%. Prologis declined by 1.83%. Equinix fell by 1.55%. In addition, Crown Castle International and Simon Property Group, their shares plunged 1.25% and 1.64%. Moving on to the futures and commodities now. Gold futures were down 0.06%. Silver increased by 0.98%, while copper rose 0.41%. Brent oil futures increased by 3.07% and WTI crude was up 3.08%. Next up on the bond market, the 30-year Treasury bond yield was up 2.39%, while the 10-year bond yields rose 3.34%. US dollar futures index decreased by 0.09%. Now it's time for a very short break. Stay tuned. I'll be back shortly with the Asia and Australia market updates.
Hi there, James Preston for 𝐊𝐚𝐥𝐤𝐢𝐧𝐞 TV. Are you into gaming and virtual reality? Does AI and the endless possibilities it entails capture your interest? Or are you constantly trawling through the web to try and discover the latest updates and innovations in the tech space? Well, let us do the work for you. From the latest product launches to shocking affairs on the World Wide Web, exclusive interviews and information about the top companies like Apple and Google to brand new tech startups vying for your attention. 𝐊𝐚𝐥𝐤𝐢𝐧𝐞 TechBeat has the latest in what matters in the world of technology. Join me every single Thursday on The TechBeat, exclusive to 𝐊𝐚𝐥𝐤𝐢𝐳 TV.
Welcome back. I'm Rachel and you're watching the Global Markets Roundup show. The London markets traded in a green zone, boosted by the strong performance of heavyweight mining stocks. Engineering and consulting business John Wood Group shares dropped by around 1.16%. That's after the company reported a significant reduction in the top-line revenue during the first half and subsequently forecasted full-year revenue to be lower than the prior year. The FTSE 250 listed supplier of precision instrumentation and control Spectris shares rose by around 1.06%. That's after the company agreed to sell the NDC Technologies unit to Nordson for approximately $180 million. The company will use the proceeds to strengthen their balance sheet. Biotechnology company PureTech Health had reported encouraging clinical trials pipeline with 2 phase 2 and 4 phase 1 trials, along with the announcement of interim results. The shares went up by around 0.42%. Software company SNS shares grew around 0.23%. That's after the company had shown a marginal rise in recurring revenue during financial year 2021. The full year revenue grew by around 2%. Lastly, we look at yesterday's ASX performance. The Australian shares ended higher for the second session on Tuesday. That was led by gains in blue chip energy, miner and technology stocks. The market sentiment was boosted by the regulatory approval to the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine, while easing worries of winding up of economic stimulus by the Federal Reserve also lifted the mood. Meanwhile, coronavirus concerns showed some signs of abating as 753 new infections were recorded in New South Wales on Tuesday. That was compared to a record 818 cases registered on Monday. The ASX 200 closed 13.1 points or 0.17% higher. During the day's trade, the index gained as much as 0.46% to hit an intraday high after making a positive start. Yesterday, infection prevention company Nanosonics topped the gainer list with a 21.5% gain. Some of the other notable gainers were internet service provider Unity Group, financial services firm Hub24, real estate firm Centre and retail travel outlet the Flight Centre Travel Group. Meanwhile, online retailer Kogan.com emerged as the worst performer with a 15.84% loss on the 24th of August. Amongst others, engineering services firm the Monadelphous Group, healthcare firm Ansell, construction material company Boral and health insurance company NIB Holdings were the top losers. It'll be interesting to see how the market pans out today. Well, that's all from me for now. Keep watching 𝐊𝐚𝐥𝐤𝐢𝐧𝐞 TV for more market updates. I'm Rachel, signing off for now.